Welcome to another edition of the Hoop Scoop. I'm Jared Johnson. I'm joined by the mighty Joe Yeager. Well, before we go into Red Raider basketball, I want to remind folks, go to Red Raider Outfitter for all your Double T gear. Get some new merch. It's getting colder. I really like these hoodies. Actually, my whole family's decked out in them now. Very soft, very comfortable. And of course, they look amazing. So go to Red Raider Outfitter and, of course, get those caps that I love and talk about every week. Mighty Joe, Texas Tech basketball. Licking their wounds a little bit. Actually, a lot. 30-point loss to the #1 team in the country in Purdue out in the Bahamas. They barely got by Wake Forest, who's a good team. Now, the record isn't great necessarily, but they've lost some close games. Wake Forest, a couple of them, but I think that's a pretty good team. That looks like a tournament team. So at least you got that win. I think that will look better on the resume later in the season. But man, things sure don't look right in terms of for Red Raider basketball in Raiderland right now.
Yeah, I mean, a 30-point loss to anybody at the collegiate level is just unacceptable. And Purdue came into that game, obviously ranked #1 in the country and a very, very good basketball team. However, they had been somewhat of a non-dominant #1 team. I mean, you expect a #1 team to just be wiping off all these mid-majors that show up. And really, the only team that they just absolutely destroyed was Evansville in the first game of the season. Until Tech. They beat Evansville by 31. But they were playing some other fairly soft teams and beat them by 15, 16, 17, 18 points. And then you come in and you just mop the floor with Texas Tech. So, a 30-point loss is a bad indicator. In my Jaeger shots, I mentioned that the Elite 8 team from last year, their largest margin of defeat was 9 points. That was at Arizona. That wasn't even a neutral site game. So obviously there's a lot of time left. Get some things fixed. I believe that Grant McCaslin is very good at getting his teams to improve over time. But man, they got an awful lot of work to do. There's issues.
Yeah, the main issue I saw was a lack of effort. And a lack of what's the word? Not strain. Strain's fine. And I'm not used to seeing that from Texas Tech basketball. I mean, when was the last time you saw a team not put forth like maximum effort, especially on a stage like that against the #1 team in the country? I mean, going back all the way to Chris Beard's first couple, or even Tubby Smith's years as a head coach. So that was the most concerning thing to me. It was like there were guys, whether it be Watts, JT was obviously flustered with that push where he ran through the guy. I understand. I've been there. He was very frustrated. Some of the guards, Christian Anderson, I mean, has not lived up to the hype, let's be honest. And I don't know if there was an effort from, let's say, Christian Anderson, but Watts, I mean, he was almost unplayable. He didn't start for I think it was the first time, at least since he's been available this year. And then he didn't play very well in both games. Those things are concerning. Lack of effort, and then the defense, whether it's backdoor cuts or just allowing guys to dribble from the top of the key and all the way down the lane and dunk on your head multiple times, no matter who it is, whether it's Purdue or some of the other teams at Sam Houston State or whatever, they've allowed that. All that is very concerning for me, more than just they lost to the #1 team and got blown out.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas Tech was too easily deterred in this game.
Yeah.
Particularly on offense.
Those threes settling.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole thing. The gold standard for Texas Tech basketball is the 2019 team, obviously.
Sure.
Now, that was a tough basketball team. Mentally tough. They weren't going to let anybody stop them, man. I mean, they were going to, whatever they wanted to do, man, they were going to make every effort to get that accomplished. Offense, defense, it didn't matter. Nobody was about to intimidate them or out physical them or anything like that or out tough them. But I mean, Purdue certainly did that, particularly on offense. They were just had no interest in attacking the rim.
No,
there's too much settling out there. Grant McCaslin, after the game, mentioned the physicalness of Purdue, and that's fine, but you got to match that with your own physicalness. I mean, you got to get better at that. Standing around, jacking up threes, isn't going to beat anybody at this level. And let's be perfectly honest. I mean, JT Toppin right now is in something of a funk. He's not looking like a Naismith Award candidate right now. I mean, he's having some issues with these double teams. I think he's a little bit out of sync by these things. I mean, he's clearly at the top of the scouting report for everybody right now. They're not going to let him beat them. They're going to say, all right, we're going to do everything we can to nullify JT Toppin, and then we're going to see what happens with these other guys. And so far, it's working. So, I mean, right now, offensively, they were stuck. Texas Tech was stuck on, 26 points for 6 minutes or something.
Yeah.
They didn't score for a long as time in the second half. I wondered if they were going to score again.
It felt like I was watching a soccer match. It was that long between goal for Tech, anyways.
I know it was. I hadn't seen that too often. So, I mean, and offense had been better than defense for Texas Tech going into this game, but in this game, nothing was good.
Yeah.
Not offense, not defense, not rebounding. You got out rebounded by 18.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's toughness right there. I don't care about the size discrepancy. No, that's toughness.
Yeah, I mean, Purdue really did. Purdue looked like a team that was in a higher league.
Oh yeah.
Than Texas Tech. Tech didn't look like they belonged out there with them. So nothing good to say about it, really.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are going to get offended and all this, but it's not. First off, yes, the loss, getting beat by that much. But again, going back, like I felt after when we had the video after Tech lost to Illinois, and there were some good things to take from that. I felt like Tech competed. It was a good game. Yeah, there were some deficiencies on defense that you pointed out, rightfully so, but it wasn't the same tenor as, like, I just don't remember a Tech basketball team giving up. That was the biggest thing, and I understand they were just getting drummed, but until they brought in some of the guys like Nolan Groves, your guy Leon Horner, there wasn't a lot of effort, a lot of fight, and the whole mantra is toughest team wins. Well,
there was no contest.
Yeah, Tech's got a long way to go in that department, and that's the truth. So tell us about the two games coming up. Was it Wednesday and Friday, I think, sandwich and Thanksgiving?
Yeah, they've got New Orleans and then Wyoming.
Yes, or that's Sunday, right?
Sunday, the 30th, whatever day that is. Yeah, that's Sunday. One note, the New Orleans game is at noon.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're planning on getting out there, this is not a night game. I mean, I actually, frankly, just discovered that a couple of hours ago. I was looking at the schedule, like, whoa, man, okay, this is a noon game. I'm glad I checked this out. New Orleans, well, I mean, if Texas Tech doesn't snap back from this, and just wipe the floor with these guys, then we're going to even be more concerned. I mean, New Orleans is nothing special. In terms of the mid-majors that Texas played, they're not as good as Sam Houston.
Okay.
They're not as good as Milwaukee.
Okay.
Tech should have their way in this game. We'll see what happens in that regard. Wyoming has sometimes been a pretty good program. But again, this is one you definitely should win by a wide margin. But we just need to see Texas Tech get right somehow.
Yeah,
and look like a Big 12 title contender.
And look like it's important to them.
Yes.
And look like they care about one another.
Exactly.
I mean, ironically, the football team's the one who's got the whole mercenary rap or whatever from around the country, but you can tell those guys play for one another and care about each other. The basketball team, that's something we've seen. You can go back to the 2019 team. Obviously, they cared about one another very much. And then this team, they look like a bunch of strangers who just showed up to play a pickup game. Let's be honest. The offense looked like that. The lack of help on defense. Coach McCaslin's has his work cut out for him this season, but it's totally doable. There is plenty of talent on this team to have a very successful season. We'll see what Coach does, hopefully starting this week to turn the ship around. But Monty Joe, man, great stuff from you as always. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time.